Hi, this is Meg here from Meg's Garden, and today I'm going to show you my part 1 using the new writing journal set of papers. These are already done in 5 by 7 inch pages. You can fold them over or you can cut them. I decided to cut them because I wanted to create another journal that sits nice and flat. So these are the beginning sections. I used Mocha cardstock, and it outlines with the outline of the black. It shows up quite nicely. Where the papers had other ephemera on top, I cut the corners. And if you just stretch the papers just a little with your hand, you can allow the enough room for the papers. These have not been embellished yet. I'm still going to do that, and I'll show you in part 2 how it finishes off. These are tags that I had used over from another project. This is a little book that I'm tucking in the corner here, and it's just allowing you to do some writing, since this is a writing journal. That tucks in there, and we've got a couple of cabinet cards there, some little books tucked in here. This has to be done yet, and this might have to be done yet. And then we've got another tuck spot right here. That's the first signature. The second one, some more tags. This is another tuck spot still to be done. Another tuck spot. Once again, this is cut out. This is lined paper ready to have something done. This is, I'm not quite sure how it's going to work yet. Another lined paper, and this is an old envelope with some tuck spots in here, and then this is another area for popping in something, probably some tickets or something, don't know yet, and this one has to be done. These are using my score. You can see the 3 scores there, and then there's another one here. These are the 2 scores on the top. And then these were 2 centimeters, these were 1 3/4, and then this is 1 1/2, and then this is just a tiny one. And these will all be attached. And the same thing in the first signature. This is showing the way that I'm going to attach the papers or the signatures so that it sits flat. These are the covers. Actually, these are the covers on the inside here. I'm playing with this to see how it's going to work. They're lined with cardstock, and I've got a spine that's 2 inches wide right here, and then the internal spine will cover it here. Now, on the last little book, it worked really well because the 12-inch cardstock went all the way across. This one, it doesn't go all the way across, so I needed to add another inch to it. So I've got 2 flaps here. This is the spine for the back or the front, whichever one it is. I've got the 2 flaps, and I've got my extra inch, and I've got my 2-inch spine. The one that's on the outside will be covered with ribbon. The one on the inside will have the 2 signatures taped and glued on the inside, and then they will sit flat. So I'll get finished with embellishing and putting the binding together, and I'll be back to you with part 2, where it's all finished and embellished and ready to go. Bye for now. See you on the next part. This is how it's looking so far. This is the extra inch that I have, and the cardstock goes from one edge to the other, but it's cut in the middle, and this is what's left. So this is actually 6 inches and 6 inches, and we're adding that inch in the middle. This is glued and taped. There's a small gap in the middle so that the covers will bend over nicely, and this one has a piece of jute ribbon in the middle that's put on so that it's nice and tidy. This is where the interior spine will go, and then the inside and the outside will be nice and tidy, will lie flat and ready for the signatures and the embellishing. So I'll be back with that. Okay, here's the finished and embellished book. Because it's a writing journal, we've had lots of padlocks and keys and to keep everybody out and to keep it safe. So we have here a faux lock, and we have 2 keys. They're hanging on a hanger here, and a small padlock. On the spine we have just a piece of the jute ribbon and one of the long vintage trinkets, and this is the back, and it's just a simple one of the papers. On hindsight, it's probably a little too large for the book, but it's stuck down, so that's where it's going to be. Now, this one is one of the pages, but it's all fussy cut, and it's foam tape mounted so that it has some dimension. Now, it does sit flat. And inside we have two sets of papers, and I think I've used every paper in the pack. But let's have a look and see. Here we've got, because it's a writing journal, I've tried to accent some of the images of writing, and we've got a tuck spot there of thinking, pen nib, and a beautiful feather. And the same on the inside cover, and you can see that this is done with an interior and an exterior spine, and the covers are just covered with black cardstock. Inside I've used Mocha cardstock so that I could accent the page outlines. Another pen nib here, and anywhere that I've done some ephemera on the pages where it could be cut, I've cut it out and tucked something behind it. This page was left alone. This one I just added a small time clock inside the pocket watch. These are tags left over from another project. Inside here we've got a little pocket and some spots for writing. Two card photo covers and 2 little books in here. And I got to the end of the book and realised I hadn't used any tea-dyed vellum. Naughty, naughty. So I popped some in here. And it's just a bit of a spine added there. And double-sided tape keeps it in place. And then a little comment here, and that's just left loose. And that's the end of the first signature. 2 little spots in here, and these are just mounted on some leftover tea-dyed vellum. This one is cut out again. This one is left plain because it's such a nice paper, so I didn't mess with it. And another one that's cut out. This one is done with a what do you call those things? I don't know what they are. And then this one's cut and a couple of tags put in. Same with this one. And this one is just left simple with take a chance. Some more tea-dyed vellum, a little booklet, I think I used one sheet of tea-dyed vellum and then just cut it up. And a little piece of cardstock left over. And then these are the pieces of printed paper that are reduced. And I just backed them and then added a spine in the middle. And you can see the spines here. And another piece of tea-dyed vellum with some little pieces added. This one also, this is just a tuck spot, mounted on black to give it a bit of a border, and then a die cut that's just used to soften the pages a little bit. A vintage envelope with some goodies inside and a key. And then this one had the envelope, and that's just slit across the top. These two put in, and then this is foam mounted. This one is cut and the corners rounded, and then just a couple of pieces put in. And then this one. And that's the journal. It sits nice and flat and easily opened. I used two different inks in this one, where they were bounded in black. I used a charcoal, and then on these ones that I wanted to vintage, I used it's called chai espresso, but it's really just kind of a vintage brown. And this is it. Hope it gives you some ideas, and thanks for looking. And I look forward to seeing you with my next journal. And that's going to be using the new pink and green. And I have no idea what it's going to be like yet. But it's going to be interesting. And I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that you can keep on top of all my projects. I'd love to be able to show you them from beginning to end, but they kind of evolve. And I never know really where they're going. But have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.